We'll reset the entries for this today. Got a couple of new people on the classes that missed yesterday, so we'll go through the entries on it. So we have an understanding about what we're trying to achieve, specifically with our grips. So I don't want to just grip for the sake of gripping. I want all my grips to have a purpose, and when I have the purpose, I have something that I'm aiming for. Okay, so let's grab Steve inside my guard, please. So those of you that don't know, guard, put my legs right across my feet. This is deemed to be a better position for me and a worse position for Steve. For the concept is that I have more attacks and more options. In fact, if Steve does manage to get out of my legs and pass, he gets 3 points, which is the second highest scoring points. There's back mount, back control, and mount. All score 4. Guard passes 3. So it's deemed that I'm in a very good position. One of the things I don't want Steve to do is to stand up to get posture. So one of the easiest ways is to get a double collar grip. And what I'm doing is I'm pulling my elbows out to flare the collar. What this does puts tension onto the back of Steve's neck, and if I pull my knees forward, it gives me the options to hold my partner down. The downfall with the double collar grip or the double lapel grip is that Steve can now put both hands into my biceps, push him down, and he can now stop, and now he can go to guard pass control. Option 2, to stop him from grabbing my biceps, I can hold the sleeves. The issue is I've got no way of stopping him from standing up because he can just push down and stand up. Okay. So we have what we call like a mid-range, and this is the most common grip you're going to get, which is the collar and the sleeve. Because it kind of denies the ability for him to stand up. I kind of know which way he's going to pass the guard because he's only got one hand free. So this is kind of one of the more common and generic ways of doing it. This also sets up my triangles, arm bars, and my platters, etc., etc. So number 1, put tension onto the gi, pull forward so Steve goes to get posture. That will allow me to get the grip because he has to post off me. As he's pushing up to get up, I'm going to make one small motion. I hip scope out, bring my knee through the centre line. I'm trying to get like a seatbelt grip, so it's armpit to hip. But it's not flat because Steve can just crush it down nice and easy. If it's too far up, he'll swing the arm on the inside and go to guard pass, so bring the arm over and swing through, and then he's into guard pass mode. So I do want to kind of go like the armpit to the hip from here. One of the biggest faults I see people do from here is that when they do the sweep, they tension and they pull this way, which means we're now aligned and I'm blocking him out with my knee shield. So instead, what we want to do from here is I want to keep this hand onto my leg so I get my grips over and hold it down. All I'm going to do now is going to slowly turn my nose to the ground to be able to get my sweep. Right, so at this stage here, I'm not pushing my legs. It's pretty much because there's tension on the body where I go, he goes. I'm not saying this is going to work every time, but we're definitely going to get a reaction out of him. So from here, full guard, collar, sleeve. From here, as Steve starts to get posture, small hip escape, bring my knee through. Hold the hand against my leg. If you can cross it over, cross it over. This hand here is distance management, really easy. Now all I'm going to do is I'm going to turn my nose to the ground, slight pressure, get to my top position. My hand stays inside the collar, nice and tight from here. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to put my pressure, instead of pressure onto the hand, which allows Steve to bridge and roll and control, I put tension onto my elbow to lift the head up, so it's hard for him to bridge and roll, and there's a lot more pressure through the chest, so I'm kind of pinning him to the ground via my elbow onto the chest. Is everyone okay to start with that? Pablo? Yeah, you know the best thing that can happen is you fail and you go again. That's how we all started. 1, 2, 3. Okay, we're going to go 2 minutes, and I'll swap partners over. Guys. So one of the details, you know your rush guards on the inside out?
Is it?
Or is this new style that everyone's going for?
No. I haven't worked out how to work out which way in and out is.
You haven't worked out?
No.
The tag and all that?
Yeah.
This one you haven't been able to see which way to...
This is a really tag somewhere.
I don't know.
I'll have to find out.
You know what? I'll put a pin in the back of it.
No,
Yeah? No? A staple? Oh. So got my grips from here. What I'm seeing is the movement, and so as I'm going to get my knee through, right, if my hips stay linear and I move, Ian's going to have the inside position, which is going to make it very hard to get my knee through into the space. So what I'm doing is I'm shuffling 45 degrees out to get my knee through. So what I'm doing is, see how his hand's onto my hip? So if I go 45 degrees out, it takes the elbow away, and that gives me space to bring my knee through. Secondly, this is now even easier to get the sweep because I've got a lot more ability to roll them over. So the small detail that I want to add in, which everyone's got their mechanics right, there's nothing wrong with the mechanics, we're just going to application now, is so full guard, as Ian's tension with his right hand, foot goes down onto the ground, so place your foot on the ground, 45 degrees out, bring my knee through and turn. It's pretty much a nice, easy mechanic. Once again, is with the hand, I want him to push the hand in to tip him because I don't want him to be able to post. Now, at high level, they'll also post on their elbow. Right, so they'll have the ability to post on their elbow. Right, so it's better if I can push the hand under so the elbow goes all the way through. You won't get it under your leg, but you're going to take away the ability for them to post on their elbow as well. Okay, change partners, same drill, 1, 2, 3. This is your first flow, and it's pretty dynamic. It's something that you should have in your repertoire and arsenal. This option one, there's 3 or 4 options I use as flows to go through. Just grab it inside my guard. I'm going to go slow the first one, just so everyone understands what we're trying to do. One of the major things I want to do is keep my grips. So I want to keep my grips. Okay. Put my foot down, 45 degrees out, create space, knee comes through. Turn my nose to the ground, and what I'm doing this time is I'm slightly pulling my hand over my shoulder, so pulling this hand. Turn, lift the arm up, fold the arm, step, hit the arm bar. So it's a really nice flow from the sweep straight to your arm bar. There's very, very minimal chance of them escaping because it's all done in transitions, not like I'm going to mount and then stop and they go, I'm going in an arm bar. 9 out of 10 times they're going to be trying to resist the sweep by pushing me backwards. So they'll generally give me the arm. The hardest part, I'll stop mid-range to show you guys the hardest part, which is your transition to the armbar, because a lot of people get their legs caught and they can't transition smoothly. So the grips, once again, take my left foot out, turn, my elbow has to come in because I can't have, if it's out, I can't turn over. So my elbow comes in, knee goes through, boom, from here. The hardest part is here, like that. So your knee's not on the ground, punch the hand, and I'm heavy. Right, so I'm kind of like the S mount. The issue is my hips are quite a fair way away from his armpit, so I bring my foot in to hug, and as I step, I'm holding the collar, and that's what enables me to come into the position. The beautiful thing about it is I do have the armbar. If Ian recognises it and pulls his arm out, my hand goes to the collar, and I simply finish with my collar choke. So this is why I need these grips. I can't let go of the grips. Right, so it's a really nice mechanic to be able to go, like, you know, the arm bar is really good. If Ian does recover, right, with the choke, it's simply a slap on the back. What I'm trying to do is go behind the shoulder blades, and I just bring my elbow together. So I'm not pulling in, it's elbow together. So they'll generally go, man, I'm in a choke, they'll defend the choke, they can't use that hand, so as they use the other hand, boom, switch, and you've got, you know, like you can make this flow armbar choke. You can actually make this a really high-end combination if you want to roll this together. I've never met anyone rolling that I have to go to the third armbar in a real wrestle. You know what I mean? Like, it would be more that I'm playing around. Normally I will get the armbar, that's the highest percentage one. If not, I always get the choke. I've never ever had to go through, except for with my wife, because she's amazing.
She's here.
Oh, is she here? Oh, wow. Oh, what did you get in, babe? I didn't recognise. Okay. So, leg goes out, elbow in, hip escape, boom, take it down, so nose to the ground, punch, elbow down, foot up, fold it over, sit. I've pretty much got the arm anyway, so I'll just finish the arm bar. If you've got the arm bar, don't worry about the choke. Okay, grab someone new. 1, 2, 3. I'm just going to move forward a little bit. There's a couple of things on the passing, the guard passing that I kind of guess not negotiable. One of the things is we always want to pass either both arms out with both arms in. We don't want to pass a triangle with one arm in deep. Within reason, there are some passes that we use to bait. The second thing is distance management. So for me to open up Steve's legs, at some stage I have to create distance to be able to pass the guard. It's one of the biggest things I see people make a mistake, is that, like, you know, Steve gets a collar and sleeve grip and they're here trying to, you know, break the legs open, but he's very strong here and my base is compromised because I'm very upright. Anytime that I'm trying to push down, is Steve times he's going to pull me down like that. So one of the things I want to do is I want to go to the inside of the hip, and this is really important. Right, you can grab the belt if you want to, you can put your hand onto the hip. Now, it's kind of counterintuitive because I want to push, but I don't want to come here because I'm setting myself up to get swept. And this is also one of the things I see people make a mistake, is that here they go like, I'll push that leg down, and all of a sudden it's like, oh man, I'm in sweep city. So what I'm doing is I'm changing the angles a little bit so my hand goes in, but I'm going to walk that way. So this makes it very hard for Steve to sweep because his hand's on the wrong side for the sweep. Now, I'm going to step up to pass. So it's very hard for Steve to turn that knee to sweep me. And even if he does turn the knee over, my base is so good, it's very hard to move me. So one of the small mechanics on the guard pass that I see people misunderstand is here, leg slides out, knee goes into the butt, creates space, and I kill the leg. There's no point pushing the leg down. I'll push it forward to create the space. This is a far better pass position for me. You can't armbar or triangle. So one of the things that's going to happen, I've forgotten what they call it, but there's an armbar where you wrap underneath my elbow, so that hand goes under my elbow, scoops forwards and you pull it through and you get the armbar. So there is an armbar here, but what I've done is I've created the distance, so if Steve goes to scoop underneath my arm, there's no power. You can use both. It's really hard to get there's no power. And I'm not going to sit here and let him do it. I'm going to pass the guard. So from here, full guard, Steve gets his grip somewhere, you've got one hand to use, hand goes on the hip. On that side, slide backwards, knee in the butt, step up, push the leg forward. Steve now goes this, he puts his foot underneath my knee, turns his knee towards the ceiling, lifts my leg up. Takes a sweep. So now using is pretty much putting me onto one balance point, my foot, one foot, and sweeping me over. I'm doing all the work to get to the pass position, but there's always a chink in the armour. There's always, like, you know, if there was one pass that everyone could use that was like unbreakable, everyone would just use that pass. But everything has to have a chink in the armour. Like every action has a possibility of an equal reaction. So the downfall on this one is that the space I've created that's usable is here. He just has to work out how to get there. And you know, even if I'm going to push that leg down, he goes, oh my leg, and it's here. If I'm doing the correct way, where I'm going to push the leg forward, he just goes, no drama, circles his foot and goes under. Now, before you move, so we keep the same grips. Before you move, I'm heavy here. So you turn your knee to the ceiling, and this is awkward. All we have to do is lift the foot up that far. and my balance is gone. Right, so now, because my balance is up, we can now start to, this is the hardest part, we can start to turn the knee over so I'm off balance. Land. Now, this is the hardest part. This is the scramble. I'm going to try and fight you from here. So you've got to climb all the way over that way so you get a better guard pass as well. Right, because now it's harder for me to keep your foot in the half guard. Right, so don't settle for coming up on the sweep on that side, flatten them out, go all the way over, and you should technically get the guard pass if the referee's good because you're in the half guard position. Most referees are pretty shit. Like, I'm not going to lie, won't pick that up. The alternative is just do the best tournament in the entire universe, which is submission only, with no points, and you don't have to worry about that stuff. Finn, come down here for a sec. What? SGT? Did someone? Wow, that sounds like a great name for an event. Okay, so Flint's got collar and sleeve. Okay, so high level, I'm going to be more here. Like I'm like my elbows on the inside, but I've got the inside here. So this is more like a low level. There's no way I'm going to pass the guard up here and go, hey man, triangle, I'm a platter, wrestle. So even if I'm playing high end here and high end here, it's still that. Now, it's still the same. And I'm going to put like, no way. And he just goes, well, oh man, this is that. Come all the way over, got the guard pass. I'm like, man, this is bad. And it just kind of goes downhill really rapidly from there. So even if you're low level passing, we still use the same mechanic. Is everyone okay to practice this? Get someone round about your own size, guys. 1, 2, 3. So this is the higher end, and it'll be more like I kind of say purple belt and above style passing. It is gi passing, so I'm going to go step by step so everyone understands why and when. So I call this box passing. I want everything on the inside, everything's super tight. My knees to my elbows, there's no space for my partner to counter attack. This is my favourite style. Of passing from open guard. I find because I'm generally smaller compared to the others, I can kind of fit inside the nice tight space. But I've got to be very wary of my weight position so I don't get manipulated and moved. So there's a bit of ebb and flow both ways. So we're going to start exactly the same thing. So Flynn has the collar and the sleeve on the side. Once again, my hand goes on the collar. If I have a belt, I do like the belt, but it's just fingers in the belt. I don't want to get committed to it, so it's just fingers on the belt. Slide, boom, push. All I'm going to do is going to go my knee to my elbow. My knee to my elbow. Right, so this is a super high end pass, and I have the ability now to shoot my hand through because it's very hard for them to even do the arm bar. I've got them trapped from here. Right, Flynn recognises this, but I'm kind of baiting him to let go of the collar because right now this is the thing that's going to stop me from part because he can control. Yeah, I'm like, man. So I'll almost go, hey man, look, there's an arm bar. But Flynn's pretty good. He's not going to go for that because he's like, man, I've robbed this guy so many times. What a jerk. Why are you laughing? So Flynn's going to make the commitment. He's going to let go with his right hand and grab my heel with his right hand. Now, this is called rock and roll. We're going to go nice and slow. I assume Flynn's taking me that way. He pulls the collar and turns his knees here. I don't want to get swept, so I'm going to put my foot on the ground. As I do that, his knee goes across the centre line. It comes straight back up and over to take the sweep. So this is a rock and roll sweep. It's a lot more dynamic, but it's a lot more like I've got pressure. So my weight's on you, so you can manipulate me a little bit better, but you've got to go to the end of the lever, which is the ankle. So if you let go of my collar, I'll pass your guard. So I have more ability to pass your guard. So I'm almost going to bait you to let go of that. This is what's going to manipulate me from here. So I'm in the pass position from here. I'm like feeling pretty good. So the right hand goes to the heel and just goes. So the thing about this way is I'm kind of feeling he's going to try and swing this way. So I'll block the knee out to come on the inside. So the elbow pulls and the knees turn. The knee goes on the inside. So here and now it just turns back that way. Because he's got my ankle. Now if I don't stop it, there's got a bit of an ankle lock here because my toes are compromised. So no, keep it there, it's okay. I'm going to go, I don't want to get my ankle, so I'm going to drop. Now, if you let go of that, we're going to have a battle come up because you've still got hold of it. Just pull yourself straight up, boom, and here we go. How does that feel? Rock and roll. Okay, let's grab Emma for this one. If you're fancy, okay. Like our wedding dance, this. High end, exactly the same thing. Same collar, sleeve from here. Manipulate. Emma grabs hold of my cankle. Suits me this way. I post. Knee goes through from here. I'm like, no, and I'm like fighting. So Emma dives the arm under, shoulder down, rolls, and goes straight on to the back. Yay! So if they do fight it, we have the invert to the back control as well. 2 minutes, guys. Have some fun. 1, 2, 3. Let's go.